Now take a breath and see if you can connect with what's under that. What's really important to you?
What's really important to me is that he have some kind of sense of all the stuff that I'm holding. Mm-hmm. And for me, he didn't even, it's like he told me, it wasn't like he asked me and we could come up with some other options, or it just felt like I didn't have any buy-in to this.
Okay.
It felt like it's being put on me.
Okay, so we turn it around into what's the need? What is it that you want?
I want consideration and a sense of teamwork and partnership.
Great. Is this clear enough inside of you that you can communicate it to him?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So I hear you reminding me about these relatives coming, and
yeah,
I'm just so sad. Because things like this could be really fun if you and I shared them and sort of had some teamwork around them. But as it is now, I'm really overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have to take care of on Thursday. I don't know. I want to know something, but I don't know what exactly I want to know.
So this, before you respond, this is really critical. I said this earlier in the show. I want to say it again. We put much more energy into figuring out what it is that we want to say than into figuring out what it is that we want to hear. So take another extra moment. So you know, and what you want to hear, what you want to focus on is not how to fix the situation, but what will contribute to the next micro bit of connection between you. Because the more you focus on connection now, connection now, connection now, the more you start walking together.
I want to know if you understand my vision, like my vision of us, like things are going to happen, it's going to be tough, but I want to know that you get that it could be so much more fun if it was more of a sense of doing it together.
It seems to me we're doing it together. I'm not clear. It seems that it's not working for you. I get that, and I would like to help, but that thing about not working together just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm clear that I want to know something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you asked for something, you got a response, but you got valuable information in this response. Yeah. You're actually inhabiting different realities. Of course there's going to be a gap. If you're inhabiting different realities, yeah.
Yeah. So now I want to know if you understand the amount of stress that I get thinking about Thursday and having the two sick kids and having these people that I have to entertain who I can't even speak to.
Well, okay. I mean, I'll take it. Okay, yeah, I get it. That Thursday, it's stressful for you, but I'll take a day off, and we'll find a way. We'll hire babysitters. We'll find some, like we always do. No.
So, here's what I'm getting. He's not getting it.
No.
He's not getting it. But there comes a point where trying to get somebody to get something. Mm-hmm. is not an effective strategy. Mm-hmm. Even though I know the temptation is, okay, he doesn't get it, I will explain it one more way, one more time, and then he'll get it. Mm-hmm. But I have a sense that if you can give him a little bit of space for his perspective to be understood, then he will have more space for you.
Okay. So, to you, it sounds like we are working together, and it's not really that big of a deal, and we'll work it out. Like you have a lot of trust that it'll work out.
I mean,
okay.
We talked about it before. You knew they were coming. They're coming earlier, but it was really hard. I found a way to have a day off for myself, so I'll do most of what I can. So it's mostly Thursday, and like I said, we can find a way.
So to you, it didn't seem like a big deal because it was just one day that it was just going to be with.
Well, yeah, I think we can deal with that, especially with what they did to us when we went there. I mean, they found a way, so I'd like to do the same for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm curious, what happens inside of you as you hear from him?
Well, when I hear from him and sort of say back to him what I'm hearing, I forget my own stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like I do a little transfer where I'm kind of just listening and like, oh yeah, right, that's that perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's important when we listen to another person that we don't forget ourselves.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will come back to bite us later in the form of resentment.
Mm-hmm.
That no matter how much you hear another person, that you still make room for your perspective, and then now that he's heard, find a way to say it so that you can both hear each other. That's when you really work together.
So it sounds like you really wanted to show them the same hospitality that they showed us.
Yeah, it's very important to me.
And that you have some trust that we can figure out what to do on Thursday, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. And I don't want to let you with all the problems. Like I said, I had this big day off, and I'll organize things. And if you want a babysitter, we'll make it work. Or what about a translator, whatever.
I mean, I have to say it makes a difference to hear you say that. Just to hear you being positive and not thinking that it's a big deal actually does shift me somewhat. And at the same time, I'm nervous. I'm still nervous about taking care of the kids and not being able to talk to these people and taking the whole day.
I am already hearing that you are sensing more of a sense of togetherness. The way you're sharing this sense of being nervous now feels more connected rather than adversarial. And I bet you sense that too.
Yeah, and I'm about to say something.
What are you about to say?
Well, you know, it's been oftentimes when I think I let you down. Where I left you with the kids, and I want you to know that I learned, and this time I wish they would come a bit later. We would have a bit more time to prepare, but they're arriving, and like I said, I have this day off now. I'll do really my best, because I want that to be fun and easy for you as well.
Thank you. I want to check back in with Betsy. Betsy, are you still on the line?
I am.
Any comments that you have about this?
I think that they did a great job role-playing. I think she sounds exactly like me. It's like the same way of thinking. I mean, you know, it's you know, it is so important to really, you know, be positive, to try to look for, you know, to try to connect, and, you know, give him a little space, a chance to, you know, resolve it, rather than just being adversarial.
Great.
You know,
do you have more of a sense of empowerment, that you might know better what to do in a situation like this when it arises?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
And
I wish I had spoken to you guys last week.
And I also want to say that it's never too late to reconnect. You can go back to your husband and express to him what happened, what you saw, what you've learned, and then you're much more likely to get the connection that you want.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for this scenario. We really enjoyed it.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, we have only a few minutes left before the end of the show. So we probably are not going to be able to get very deep into the next situation, but let's give it a try. This is an inner conflict that we call it just one more chapter. And this is Robert. And Robert has two voices. One of them is called read more, and one of them is called sleep now. I'm sure many of you will recognize yourselves in this situation.
All right, it's 11. It's time to close the book and go to sleep, just like we agreed.
There's one more chapter. It's 10 pages and it's done.
No way. If you read one more chapter now, then you're going to read another chapter, and that's exactly what happened last night and the night before.
Okay. Look, that's the first thing that I do today that I like.
Thank you. Thank you. This happens inside of Robert's head. We all have these things, these inner fights that go nowhere.